Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to do this snow scene, which is on the path of a Bradley Palmer State Park here in Ipswich. Beautiful scene. But what I want you to take special note of is the layering in this painting. You know, in watercolor landscapes, layering is everything. So you want to pay attention to the sky and the light trees in the background, and the white strip, which is a frozen river, the Ipswich River. So it's very important. We're going to paint that first and finish it pretty much before we get into the shadows and all the trees. Okay, this is a very simple painting. It looks complicated, but it's very easy and you'll enjoy it, okay? All right, so we'll start in the sky. Let's mix up some nice sky color. I'm going to start with some phthalo blue and some cobalt blue here. Mix them together and get a nice load of color here. So we'll start with the background color here in the sky. Getting around the white clouds. You know, a lot of times we do go in with a towel and just lift out these white clouds, but there's so much white there, and we want to save it because that's coming through the trees. So going in with a towel and just softening the edge there, putting a little extra blue on that side. You don't want it all the same, so you want some richer in color and some others. A little bit of rose in there as well. All right, I mixed up some gray. Just, you know, if you take that sky color and basically just add some raw sienna to it, and that will, if that gives you, you know, a green, the complement of green, you know, is red. In this case, we'll just add a drop of rose, and that will bring it back into the gray. All right, so we'll look at that. All right, so I'm painting those background trees with that gray. And then in this particular area, there's a beautiful section of a brighter tree, which is raw sienna. And I love it because it does come through the trees, and it's the only warm area in the background there. Don't get caught up in any greens, or there's no green, so stay away from the green here. All right, I mixed up some shadow blue here. A nice grayish blue, ultramarine, rose, a little bit of raw sienna. We'll gray it down and just paint that the top shape of the shadow snow on the ground. And now we're doing the front. Get the front a little bit darker, a little bit warmer. That'll come forward for you nicely. You can see I'm just throwing in some blues and mixing it up. You want a nice variation of color and values, you know. It's really important to just get all of that, you know. You don't want the same color throughout. You want a nice modulation of color. You can see there I put some water on the edge to soften that edge. Okay, so we're just holding on to that. Mixed up a little darker green here. This is ultramarine with just a touch of raw sienna, and then maybe a little bit of rose to darken it up a little bit. And I'm just doing, there's a section of those green trees on the left that I am putting in. These trees are in the foreground. They're not across the river, they're in the foreground. So I'm just getting that in, and I'm putting the trunks in now to show you that those trees are here on this side of that river bank. So it's really important to get that in. Okay, and now we're going to start doing these trees. But, you know, it's really simple, but all you're doing here is I mixed up a black color, ultramarine and quin sienna, and then added a bunch of raw sienna to it. And the darker trees will have less water, and that's the only difference. And the lighter trees have a lot of water, and they're going to just go all the way across, you know. I tell my students, you know, if you're right-handed, you start on the left side so that you can go right across without smudging everything. And obviously, if you're lefty, you start on the right side and go the other way. All right, so I'm going to go across here with a bunch of light trees. And that just means lighter in value. So you're using the same color, basically, adding some water and more water, maybe a little bit of raw sienna, warm it up, and then just work your way across. These are all trees in the background, so it makes a big difference. All right, now I'm spattering some gray. This is just a warm gray. All right, a little ultramarine, a little raw sienna, a little rose, and I'm spattering it. And what this is just trees that are, you know, little, what's left of trees in the winter, you know, a few leaves and branches, and, you know, so I spattered that in there, and now I'm going in with a brush and I'm just gonna move it around and soften it. It's just shapes in the air. You know, eventually we want to basically block out a lot of that light cloud, the white, you know, the white sky and the clouds, because we want the focus to be down here on the shadow. All right, so we're going to focus all of that out. I do like that raw sienna peeking through. All right, so here's one of the dark trees. Now this is, again, ultramarine with quin sienna, which gives you that black color. You can push it a little bit towards the quin sienna to keep it a little warmer. And you see the way the base of these trees end up, because they're spread out and the snow is coming up a little bit on different sides. All right, so once you get that tree in there, you get that, you know, the trees are not all, notice how I touched it with a towel and lifted off some of that dark color and gave it a sense that there's light hitting it, okay? And now, and this is all it is now from here out, it's just, you know, trees, branches, leaves, and that's what you want to pay attention to. It's just those more and more trees. Take your time, you know. What I tell my students is, as you're doing this, you know, it's a little monotonous to do a bunch of trees, a bunch of anything like this. So you do a part of it and then move on to something else, and then come back and do more of it, come back, you know, come back. Over here, I'm lifting off some of the shadow. I lost some of my light there, and I just wanted to show you that you can lift it out by just painting some water there and taking a towel and wiping it out, you know, and you can scrub it out, it comes off. Just enough so you see that light back on the snow. And you know, you can do it once or twice until you get down, you know, almost to the white of the paper. And remember, on that white area, you probably, in this particular painting, you probably want to add a little warmth. And you can see I added a little bit of raw sienna on the white, very, you know, very light value there. All right. So that's it. You just keep going, adding more trees, more branches, building that background. So you're essentially blocking out a lot of it. But there is, you know, there is light peeking through. All right, going back over this tree, getting it a little richer, a little darker, so that it comes forward. We're building, you know, you want to build that perspective where it's really going back into the woods, and that takes a bunch of trees, you know, light, various values and lights and so forth. So you'll get it, you'll get there. Just continue to build it, and the more you build it, the stronger it's going to get, the more more trees you're going to have, and get them going, you know, all different directions. Okay. I'm putting some more branches and leaves that have hung on during the winter, and there you can see I added quite a few. And you really want that. You want that richness of color. And the more you build, the more value you have there, and the more light you're going to block out. And the more light you block out, the darker that gets, the lighter. You know, the more emphasis is on the shadow itself, so pay attention to that. Very nice. All right, I hope you like that. It's a complicated, you know, it's a painting that a lot of people wouldn't do, but I think you learn a lot from it, and that's what's important. All right, so here is the final painting. Thank you very much for joining me. As I say, I hope you had fun, and I will see you again very soon.